Hello, my friends. We have returned to thy dwelling. Anyway, I'm just being goofy because I bought this sword at the Renaissance Fair and it's sweet, so I bring it everywhere I go. We out here today, peeps. Listen, I took a poll on my Instagram story, wanted to know if it was worth going into detail on how I get back into an actual routine, having come back from some sort of travel experience. For me personally, the last 23 days I was on the road in Santa Barbara, San Diego, Los Angeles, Santa Barbara again, San Diego again, Las Vegas, and then Charlotte, North Carolina for Thanksgiving. So it has been a busy month. And let me tell you something. I have not stuck to my nutrition. I have not stuck to my training schedule. I have not stuck to my habits. I have not stuck to my bedtime. I have not stuck to any of the normal practices that I've done perfectly. I've done them all here and there sparingly, but obviously when you're in the midst of so many different things and you have different objectives when you go to these different places, you don't always get to do every single thing perfectly, and I think a lot of you can relate to that. So the purpose of this video is to get to talk a little bit about how you can get back into that rhythm, back into that flow, back into those habits, back into that routine very seamlessly when you return from your travel experience, or for those people who just don't have a routine, perhaps this could be of value too. So first things first, I'm really big on this. If you're in the If you're in the Pillars of Growth community or in the Team Growth group on Facebook, you know that I'm huge on acceptance. Listen, guys and gals, you cannot move forward until you accept where you are at. I'm going to say it again. You cannot move forward until you accept where you are at. And the simple reason is if you don't accept where you are at, then as you are on your way forward, you're constantly going to scrutinize yourself for the things that you weren't doing correctly while you were away traveling, or that you haven't been doing in the last 5 years while you've been building bad habits. You have to accept yourself for where you're at and forgive yourself for where you're at if you want to move forward. As soon as you do this, you now have the opportunity, and you can take all of that energy you were pushing towards yourself in a negative light, transform it into something positive, and use that energy to propel yourself forward, right? So the first thing, guys and gals, that we're working on doing when we get back from a long trip, travel, or just trying to build habits and build routine in general is find homeostasis, right? Find a balance. Find a place where you are comfortable, right? That might mean a clean room. It might mean getting your laundry done or unpacking your car or reorganizing your schedule, right? It's about doing little things and getting quick wins so that you can get back to a place where you feel comfortable enough to get back into your full routine and then feel powered up and souped up and ready to rock and roll and crush it, okay? And that all comes with making a commitment to doing something, right? Making a commitment to doing something. So we want to start small. So I'll tell you a little bit about what I did. So last night, as soon as I got home, right, the whole flight home, I knew, okay, as soon as I get home, I'm doing my laundry, I'm unpacking my stuff, I'm reorganizing my room, and I'm hitting the sauna first thing in the morning because that's a great reset for me, right? I have a little methodology now that I use that helps me reset really fast, right? So for you, you need to figure out something you can do to get a quick win, right? What's a quick win? Just get your bag out of the car instead of leaving it in there overnight and having to wake up and still being behind. The key is that we want to get everything done as soon as we get home that is going to hold us back from accepting and moving on from where we're at, right? So again, for you, for quick wins, it might be laundry. It might be making a home-cooked meal. It might be going out grocery shopping. It's doing a little bit more when you don't really feel like it, right? When it's inconvenient to you so that you can get ahead the next day and feel like you're right back in alignment. Because let me tell you something. This has been by far the best and most seamless I've ever readjusted to my routine. Today, got up, first thing I did was go to the sauna, sweat it out, get my cold shower, came back, I started writing before all of that, journaled, made a to-do list, went to the gym, hit the sauna, hit the shower, cold shower, came home, started writing, started doing a little bit of work, read, and then now I'm making this video. So just right back in the flow. But it all started because last night I decided that I wasn't going to leave my car in the car. I wasn't going to leave my bag in the car because I know what happens when I do that. I wake up and I'm behind. Now I have to do my laundry. Now I'm still living out the last month of my life in a new fresh day. Right? I wanted to get a head start. So I did a lot of this stuff last night. So when we're talking about making a commitment and doing something, we're saying start small, right? Find things that are little for you that you can easily do that are going to get you ahead. The third thing that I like to do is I like to make a to-do list. because I feel like over the course of a month or, over the course of your life, however long it's been since you've actually had good habits or had a routine, we easily get behind on a million small things, and just getting them out, and I literally did this yesterday, just getting them out and putting them on paper is super helpful, because now I can just cross them off, right? And if you don't have a journal, I have a full video on how to journal and how to get involved in all this stuff too. It's on my channel, but if you don't have a journal, go out and buy one. It's $10. Writing things out, peeps, changes your life. It takes it out of your head, puts it on paper. It's one less thing you have to keep track of. We're humans. We're fallible. We don't all have photographic memories and remember every single thing. So we need to get that stuff out. This is the way to do it, right? And getting the to-do list out, for me, allows me to have a very clear and concise idea of what exactly I need to do to get those fast wins, right? Imagine as soon as you get back and you're like, oh my gosh, I have all these things I have to do. You get them out, and now it's like, okay, cool, I can cross these off one by one. I'm gonna get this done, 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 and this done. Start taking action. Boom, now we're starting to feel back in a flow again, right? And to be truthful, you can truly do this in a matter of hours. All you need is one good night's sleep to reset yourself when you get back into your, back into wherever you're at based on where you've been traveling, etc. Or if you've never built a routine, all it takes is just a couple little wins to get some momentum, peeps. And momentum is what drives us forward, right? So that leads me to number 4 for me. Number 4 is to really get a good night's sleep and make a proclamation. So for me, I'm huge on sleep. I think you all know that. I really do aim to go to bed around 9:30 every night and wake up at 4:30. 4:30 is ideal. I still think I probably could sleep less if I took better care of myself, which I'm still learning to do. But regardless, I'm really big on that. And guess what? The last month I have not gotten to sleep at 9:30, maybe like 1 or 2 times. There's so many late nights. And you know what? That's okay, because sometimes I want to experience things that are going to require me to stay up later. That's it. That's why, right? It breaks my routine. It breaks my normal habits, but I'm okay with it and I accept it. And I'm open to it because I'm learning new things, and I'd rather have those experiences on those 23 days that I spent out meeting tons of new people on an adventure, experiencing life, than in those 9 months of the year where I'm like grounded, doing my thing every single day, right? Opportunity costs, and you have to weigh it. I'm not the judge of that. But for me, getting that good night's sleep to reset myself and making the proclamation of this is what I'm going to do tomorrow, and actually doing it is the start of the new cycle, right? So today, me executing on the things I said I was going to do is everything. If I don't do it, now I'm even further behind. Now I'm beating myself up even more. Great, you just spent the last 3 weeks doing bullshit. Now you're spending today kind of jerking off, making a mess, being an idiot, right? And just not doing things that are really in alignment with what I want to do or who I want to be. And I think that it's something that we can all learn from in that situation, is coming back, getting that homeostasis, getting that good night's sleep, making a proclamation of what you want to do for tomorrow, and getting one day under your belt. Start with one day under your belt. And going further back, start with one action under your belt. Start with unpacking the car. Then do the laundry. Then make your bed. Then wake up at a decent time. Then go to the gym. One thing at a time. It snowballs. And within a couple of days, you can be back to where you want to be, right? Return into that homeostasis where you really feel in alignment with yourself and like you haven't even been gone. You're just right back where you left off, okay? That's sort of how we want to do it, right? And it all comes again through acceptance. We have to accept what we've been doing for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or for you, maybe your whole life. We have to accept it so that we can then decide, okay, I forgive myself for these things. I have done them and I take ownership over them. But I don't want to beat myself up over them anymore because I love myself and I want to grow. And that's where you shift that energy to, I now want to invest in myself and my time in myself to get ahead. And that's where all of a sudden we're turning to the homeostasis, making the to-do list, making the commitment to yourself, getting that sleep, making the proclamation, and most importantly, discipline. Having discipline to actually execute. This video, for example, I was thinking about putting this off till later, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it right now. So I got my notebook out, I wrote out what I wanted to talk about, and then I set this thing up, and here we are shooting it. I could have put it off, but that would not have been in alignment, and it wouldn't have shown good discipline. And while I'm here, after being 3 weeks out of flow, out of rhythm, but in a totally different flow entirely, it's important to me to build discipline immediately. Discipline. If I make a commitment in my head, I want to do laundry, just go do the laundry. I want to make a bed, do the bed. I want to make a home-cooked meal, go get the food, make the meal. Eat the meal, enjoy the meal, and thank yourself for doing something to get you ahead. Listen, it doesn't have to be that difficult to get back into a routine. We make it difficult because we don't allow ourselves to accept what just happened. We just stunk for 3 weeks in terms of routine, most likely. Some of us are really great with travel and know how to do it. I learned so much on this trip. I can talk about that in a later video, about having a private hotel room and having a rental car where I go and keeping my energy mostly to myself. Very difficult to do, unlimited resources, and especially if you haven't planned it very well. Very difficult to do, but possible. But for everyone else, when you go on a vacation or you go on a trip or you're doing all this work stuff, you're way behind. And for others who never had a routine, you're even further behind because you've never done it. So you don't know. So it's all about this, right? Acceptance of where we've been and what we've been doing so we can move it, right? Shift it towards, I'm grateful that I've done these things because now I know what I can do. I know what I should do. I know what I want to do. Shifting the energy, right? Coming back to that place of homeostasis, making the commitment to yourself to do something, getting those quick wins, right? Resetting with a good night's sleep and a proclamation. And then really honing in on the discipline, right? Really honing in on the discipline. This sword was forged through discipline. Consistent action of the hammer and the anvil, boom, 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 into the fires, right, over and over again. So we have this epic blade that you see before you. It's actually not made out of steel, by the way, but it's still pretty cool. But that's the same idea, and it's the same idea with us and a routine and ourselves in general, and our own personal growth and development. And I talk about this all the time. I know so many of you have seen me in Pillars of Growth with MBS, the Mind, Body, Spirit program, but it's all about consistent daily action, mentally, physically, spiritually. It's going to get you to your best self. When we're talking about a routine and getting back into one, it's going to be these things. It's going to be acceptance of yourself. It's going to be making some sort of declaration and proclamation to you that you can move forward. It's about getting a good night's sleep, the quick wins, returning to homeostasis, and it's about being consistent and disciplined with all of those things. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day. All of a sudden you're a week back in the flow and you're good to freaking go. I hope this video was helpful. I'm going to drop in the caption the step-by-step method that I use. Some of the things I said in here weren't necessarily in perfect order, forgive me, but that's sort of the ideology that I've had, and I feel great today. Literally less than 12 hours back in my game. Feel fantastic, ready to rock and roll. I hope that this was helpful. For more info, guys and gals, or for more good stuff, more good content that we're putting out, there's a link below to our free Facebook group, Teen Growth, where you all get a sword for joining. I wish one day you will. But regardless, it's super cool. Amazing people are involved. Really cool things are coming. Gonna have a really big week this week talking about some really cool topics. I hope that you can join and just click the link below, answer the questions, and we'll let you in. But more or less, I hope that this video was helpful for those of you working to get back into a routine after traveling for a certain period of time. Again, we're talking about acceptance of what just happened so we can move forward. We're talking about doing something to benefit yourself, returning to that homeostasis, making a to-do list and knocking those off, building those quick wins, resetting yourself, and finally having the discipline to continue to do it each and every week moving forward. Hope you people found it helpful. Much love always. Peace, peace.